moved to Portland for work. I didn't have a lot of options for housing. My budget was tight, and I needed something fast.
You are watching Mr.Batmire, where every shadow has a story.
I found a one-bedroom apartment on Hawthorne Street, listed for about $200, less than anything else in the area. The photos online looked fine. Hardwood floors, big windows, older building but well-maintained. I should have wondered why it was so cheap. The landlord's name was Martin. He was probably in his 60s, gray hair, tired eyes. When he showed me the apartment, he seemed almost reluctant. He kept asking if I was sure I wanted it, if I'd looked at other places. I told him I'd already decided. I needed to move in by the end of the week. He handed me the keys, without much else to say. The apartment was on the 3rd floor of a building that had maybe 12 units total. Mine was at the end of the hallway, last door on the left. The place was bigger than I expected. Living room, decent kitchen, 1 bedroom, bathroom with one of those old clawfoot tubs. The windows faced the street, so I got a lot of natural light. I moved my stuff in on a Saturday. Bed, desk, clothes, the usual. My neighbors seemed quiet. I saw a couple people in the hallway that first week, but nobody really made eye contact or said hello. That was fine with me. I wasn't looking to make friends. The first night I slept there, I woke up around 3 a.m. No reason. Just woke up suddenly, completely alert. The apartment was dark, except for the streetlight coming through the windows. I lay there for a minute, listening. The building was silent. No footsteps above me, no doors closing, nothing. I went back to sleep. It happened again the next night. 3 a.m., wide awake. This time I noticed something. The air in the bedroom felt different, heavier, like the pressure had changed. I got up and walked to the kitchen to get water. As I passed through the living room, I glanced at the front door. The deadbolt was unlocked. I specifically remembered locking it before bed. I always lock it. I locked it again and went back to bed. The 3rd night, same thing. 3 a.m. But this time when I woke up, I had the distinct feeling that someone had just left the room, like I'd missed them by seconds. The air still felt disturbed, if that makes sense. The way it feels when someone walks past you quickly. I checked the apartment. Empty, door locked, windows closed. I started setting an alarm on my phone for 2:50 a.m. When the alarm went off that next night, I was already awake. I'd woken up at 2:45, 5 minutes before the alarm. I turned it off and lay there in the dark, waiting. At exactly 3 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps. In the living room, slow, deliberate footsteps. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Walking from the front door toward the hallway where my bedroom was. I didn't move. I barely breathed. The footsteps stopped right outside my bedroom door. Silence. Then the doorknob turned, slowly, all the way. But the door didn't open. It was like someone was testing it, seeing if it was locked. It wasn't locked. The door just didn't open. After about 10 seconds, the doorknob turned back to its normal position. The footsteps retreated, back down the hallway, across the living room, and stopped at the front door. I heard the deadbolt slide open, then click shut again. In the morning, the deadbolt was locked, like nothing had happened. Investigation, seeking answers. I ran into one of my neighbors in the lobby a few days later. Woman in her 40s, lived on the 2nd floor. I asked her how long she'd been in the building. 6 years, she said. You like it here? She looked at me carefully. Which unit are you in? 3rd floor, end of the hall. Her expression changed. "How long have you been there?" "About 2 weeks." She nodded slowly. "You should talk to Martin." "The landlord?" "Yeah." She didn't elaborate. She just walked away. I called Martin that afternoon, asked him if there was anything I should know about the apartment. He was quiet for a long moment. "You're hearing things at night," he said. It wasn't a question. "Yeah." 3 a.m. "Yeah." He sighed. "Previous tenant left after a month. One before that lasted 3 weeks. I should have told you. I'm sorry." "Told me what?" "Someone died in that unit. About 8 years ago. Woman in her 30s. They found her in the bathtub. She'd been there for almost a week before anyone noticed." I felt my stomach drop. "How did she die?" "They're not sure. No signs of trauma. No drugs in her system. The report said possible heart attack, but she was young and healthy. Doesn't really make sense." He paused. "Her name was Claire. That night I didn't set an alarm. I just waited. 3 a.m. came. The footsteps started, same as before. Front door to hallway, stop at bedroom door. Doorknob turns, door doesn't open. But this time I spoke. 'Claire?' The footsteps stopped. Complete silence. Then, so quietly, I almost didn't hear it. A voice. A woman's voice. From right outside my door. 'Help me.' My entire body went cold. 'Help you with what?' No response. After a minute, the footsteps retreated, back to the front door. Deadbolt opens, closes. The next night I left my bedroom door open, left all the lights off, sat up in bed, waiting. 3 a.m. Footsteps. This time they didn't stop at the bedroom door. They came inside. I could hear them crossing the room, getting closer to the bed. I couldn't see anything. The room was too dark, but I could hear the footsteps, and I could feel the temperature dropping. They stopped right beside the bed, right next to me. I turned on the light. Nothing. The room was empty, but the air was so cold I could see my breath. I stopped sleeping. I'd stay up until dawn, then sleep during the day. It was the only way I could function. But even during the day, I felt watched, especially when I was near the bathroom. I avoided the bathroom as much as possible. I'd use the one in the coffee shop downstairs, or wait until I got to work. But eventually, you have to use your own bathroom. One evening, around 7 p.m., I was brushing my teeth. The bathroom door was open behind me. In the mirror, I could see the hallway, and through the hallway, part of the living room. That's when I saw her, a woman, standing in the living room. Dark hair, pale skin, wearing what looked like a nightgown. She was just standing there, facing the bathroom, facing me. I spun around. The living room was empty. I looked back at the mirror. She was still there, closer now, in the hallway, walking toward the bathroom. I couldn't move. I stood there, watching her in the mirror, getting closer and closer. When she reached the bathroom doorway, she stopped. We made eye contact in the mirror. Her lips moved. No sound came out, but I could read the words. "I can't leave." I left that night, grabbed my laptop, my phone, some clothes, and went to a hotel. I called Martin the next morning and told him I was breaking the lease. He didn't argue. He said he'd return my deposit. Before I left Portland, I did some research. I found Claire's obituary. Claire Hoffman, 32 years old. The article said she was found in her apartment after friends reported her missing. No family in the area. The funeral was held in Seattle, where she was from. But there was something else I found. A forum post from about 6 months before she died. Someone with the username Clara_82, asking for advice about feeling trapped in their living situation. The post mentioned an ex-boyfriend who wouldn't stop calling, who kept showing up at her apartment. She said she changed the locks, but still didn't feel safe. She said she felt like she couldn't leave, even though she wanted to. The last line of the post stayed with me. I wake up at 3 a.m. every night and just wait for something to happen. I don't think Claire had a heart attack. I think she was scared to death. And I think some part of her is still there, still trapped, still waking up at 3 a.m., still trying to leave but unable to. I moved back home after that, took a pay cut, found a cheaper job. But at least I sleep through the night now. At least I can leave when I want to.